Hello YouTube. This is a almost finished video of my leg vise stand and combination bending jig. Have a little bit more welding to do on the base for the post and for the anvil, and I'd say I'm right about there. So what I did today is the leg of this is a 5.5-inch diameter solid steel blank that I bought at a local junkyard, and I drilled and tapped 3 holes in the top of it, 1/2-inch 13 threads, and drilled the plate and mounted that up. And then the top plate is drilled and tapped to 3/8 for mounting the vise. So another thing I did today is I drilled an 1.5-inch hole. That was a lot of fun. And I ordered from Evergreen Manufacturing this, it's actually a tool holder, but it's a 1-inch inside diameter square. So it works out really well as a hardy insert. So if you do something like this or railroad anvil, this is a really easy way, easy if you could drill an 1.5-inch hole, way to get a nice square hole in a vise or a work table. Okay, over here I have a bias bending jig. That's from Yesteryear Forge, and what that does is that allows you to, if you're making hooks or whatever, instead of bending on the flat like you could do here to different diameters, this will allow you to bend on the diagonal, and because it has the grooves machined in there, it won't mess up your edge as you're bending on the bias. And then I have several of these discs that I made. They go from 1 inch up to I think the biggest one I have is 7 inches, and just depending on what stock you're bending, you place this pin in the corresponding hole depending on what size die you have in here, and out of the forge on the here, and around you go, and really easy way to make hooks and all different sorts of bending projects. So that's just a really quick overview. That top plate measures 12 inches wide, 24 inches long, and it was a ton of work. It took about 5 hours just to drill the holes. Another couple hours in CAD. This design I saw at Yesteryear Forge, so I do a lot of work in CAD, so I was able to draw that up and kind of replicate that. And one thing that made this really easy is having a mill. So you can see I have the boring bar in there, and that's what allowed me to do that 1.5-inch hole really accurate to within 1/1000th of an inch to do that hardy insert. So I still have to weld around there and grind it down nice and smooth. And then one thing I may do later on is unbolt this from the top and countersink these the heads of these bolts going in there, just to make it look a little bit nicer. But what prompted this was I watched a lot of blacksmithing and how-to videos on YouTube, and every time somebody goes to the vise, they're going to bend something or twist a railroad spike, and the vise is just flopping all over the place. And it's always been one of my pet peeves, that your vise is flopping all over the place while you're trying to do hot work or whatever it is that you're doing. This is solid. You could beat on this all day. It's not going anywhere. So that's one of the things that kind of prompted this project. A lot of this was just steel I had laying around, junk. I think I gave $100 for the leg vise about a year ago, and so in all, the whole project probably cost me, maybe $150, $175, and then just a ton of time involved in placing and drilling the holes. And little more welding to do, but that's about it. Once I get the shop cleaned up a little bit more, I may through drill on the bottom and mount this into the concrete with some red heads and just go that extra mile so that it doesn't move whatsoever. So this is a nice sturdy work surface. You can see here, this is a spring swage that I made up for my anvil, and it fits right down in there, and it rests on top of the bolt, which is right over the top, pretty much, of that solid column. So let's see if I could grab a hammer real quick. It's cold, so. So you can see, pretty solid. So really a lot of ideas together in one. And as I go along and develop more tools for this, I'll post updated videos of what it's like to work with this and some of the projects that I do with it. So that's a overview of my leg vise stand and integrated bending jig. Thanks for watching, and give us a like. Take care.